Episode 18 of Twin Peaks delivered us resolution to our story. We saw Doppel go up in flames. We saw Dougie end up happily ever after, and Agent Cooper trapped in time. I want to talk about the outline of the three Coopers story, what the theme of that story was, and how that relates to everything else that we saw in Season 3 of Twin Peaks.
Hey, I'm G, and this is the G-Spot.
Each one of the Coopers has a beginning and ending in Season 3. We see that Doppel starts out in charge and on track. But by the time Doppel comes out of the White Lodge, he is off track and following Andy's lead. Agent Cooper starts out with an understanding of what he needs to do, but by the end, he's actually very confused about where he is. Dougie starts out alone and lost, but he finishes at home and embraced by loved ones. It's in Dougie's ending that we see the theme of the story. None of the characters ever actually learn the theme of the story. There is no change in any of the Coopers' behaviors from beginning to end. The theme of this story is meant for us to learn. The three Coopers demonstrate the outcomes of different ways we can approach life. The differences in the Coopers' outcomes comes down to two things: how they view time and where they look for information in their world. Doppelganger is always focused on the future, and he looks for answers in his physical world. Throughout the entire series, he wants to get his hands on coordinates, numbers. Numbers are a system for understanding our physical world, and those numbers are going to lead him to a physical location. Doppelganger never stops to think about where he is. He's always focused on where he's going. This shows perhaps the best when he's at the farm, and he wins the competition and becomes the boss of a whole gang. But he has no interest in using this gang to his advantage. He's so focused on the future, he doesn't pay attention to what's happening in front of him right now. Agent Cooper is just the opposite. He is completely focused on the past, and he looks for all of his answers in the magical world of mystery. He is so engrossed by the magical world of mystery that he believes he can manipulate it for his own purposes. He believes he can control the magic so that he has the power to go back in time and change the past. He is ignoring our physical world laws that say you cannot change the past. We see how wrapped up and focused Agent Cooper is on the past when he's in the sheriff's station, surrounded by people that he truly loves and cares about. He has been gone for 25 years, lost in really essentially nothingness. And he doesn't even take 5 minutes to enjoy the people that he loves that are around him right then and there. Even at that point, he can't take his mind off of getting to the past through the magical world of mystery so he could fix what he believes needs to be fixed. By focusing on the past and the future, Doppel and Agent have trapped themselves in their own minds. And they're trapped in their own minds because the past and the future do not exist. They're only part of our thought process. So they're never in the present moment. In the end, we see Doppelganger gets trapped. And he gets trapped in a physical world trap. We also see that Agent Cooper gets trapped, but he gets trapped in the mystery of time. Dougie does not focus on the past or the future at all. He is always present. Dougie is always in the moment. One of the best ways we can see that Dougie is always present is by the way he repeats back to people. It helps you be present in the conversation. And this is what we see Dougie do all season long, showing his presence in each moment. Because Dougie is present in every moment, he sees the magic in life when it's there for him. And when he sees it, he follows it. But Dougie doesn't spend all his time looking for magic like Agent Cooper does. Dougie acknowledges his physical world and he takes advantage of the things that are offered to him in it. Dougie enjoys coffee and cake, time with his son and wife. When there's danger in Dougie's physical world, he reacts to it. By looking at these differences in the Coopers, we can see the theme of the story. To find happiness in life, you need to live in the now. And you also need to balance the physical world of reality with the magical world of mystery, just like Dougie. It is from this theme that everything else in the show comes out from. One of the things in the show was this idea of higher densities, a higher dimension that contains higher densities. This whole idea of higher dimensions is that things are right in front of us all the time and we never see it. Well, you know what else is right in front of us all the time, even though we can't always see it? Happiness. You can be happy every moment of every day. Happiness is always right there waiting for you to embrace. What keeps us from happiness is being in our heads, being trapped in our thoughts of the past and thoughts of the future, by taking ourselves out of the present moment. In order to find the magic in the world, you have to look at the mystery. The mystery is where we find the magic. Fortunately, our world has an endless amount of mystery for us. If we look at the knowledge we have in this world compared to the mystery will always dwarf our knowledge. The mystery of the world is represented by a vast, never-ending ocean. Our knowledge of the world is represented by an island in the middle of this ocean. Now, every year, this island grows as we gain more and more knowledge about our physical world. But because the ocean is endless, it doesn't matter how big the island gets. It will always be surrounded by a vast amount of mystery. So we could picture Agent Cooper right in the ocean. He just dove right into the mystery. Doppel is clinging on tight to the land of knowledge. Dougie would have one foot on the land of knowledge, and he would have his other foot in the ocean of mystery. This is a place of mysticism, and this is where the magic in life occurs. Our world has a limitless amount of mystery for us. And when we live in the now, we can truly enjoy these mysteries. Love, sex, and romance is a magical part of our physical world, and it's very, very powerful. And each of the three Coopers are presented with these situations, and they all react to them differently. Doppel is offered sex twice in the series, both times from Chantel, in episode 2 and in episode 9. But he doesn't have time for it either time. He's always so focused on the future and getting there that he doesn't even take the time out to have sex. And in these situations, when Chantel offers it to him, there is no love or romance at all involved in the situation. It is all focused on the physical act. The love and romance is part of the magic and mystery in life. And Doppel does not take part in this. He would only focus on the physical part of this, which is the sex. And he somewhat acts interested in it when Chantel offers it, but still, he does not take out the time to participate. Now, Agent Cooper does take time out for sex, love, and romance. When he's first reunited with Diane after she comes out of Nieto, he is very loving and romantic with her. But in episode 18, when they get to the hotel, he becomes much more focused on the act. When they're standing in the room, he's not at all romantic with her. He does take time out to have the physical act of sex. But what we really need to look at here is what was Agent Cooper's agenda? What was he trying to accomplish with this act of sex? Because we can clearly see during the act of it, he was not looking for pleasure. And the whole reason why Agent Cooper has sex with Diane is to manipulate the world of magic and mystery. He sees it as a piece of the puzzle. He sees it as an ends to a means. He is not having sex with Diane to enjoy it. With Dougie and Janie E, there is all three aspects. There is love, sex, and romance. And Dougie thoroughly enjoys the process of the sex. Love, sex, and romance is only one example of the magic that's available to us in this world. Now, throughout this season, they covered so many of these things, like the mystery of time and space, the mystery of who is the observer, the mystery of do we have a purpose, the Monica Bellucci dream, where Monica Bellucci plays herself, again hinting to us that this is a real world lesson. And when she says who is the dreamer, it is meant for you to ask yourself about your reality. Twin Peaks at its heart is a mystery. It has been since day one. This season, they took the idea of a mystery and they took the ultimate mystery, the unsolvable mysteries of life, and they intertwined it into the theme of the show. On top of this, they took one of the major pieces of evidence that we have, one of the few things we actually know for certain about Twin Peaks, which is that Laura Palmer was found on the beach that morning, and they took it away from us. So they made the mystery of Twin Peaks even bigger by taking away a major piece of information. Then they made it fairly clear throughout the season that there was a real life aspect to season 3. The real life aspect can be seen on a few different levels, especially that the lesson in the story is for us to incorporate in our real life. But the other place where we see real life, they built this season of Twin Peaks to imitate life. And just like we will never solve all the mysteries in life, no matter how much knowledge we gain, there will always be more mystery. They managed to do the same thing with season 3 of Twin Peaks. It doesn't matter how much evidence we gain, how much information we extract from what they gave us. There will never be absolute answers to any of our questions. It's imitating life. Because there's a lot we know about our world, a lot that is not part of the mystery, like math and physics and biology and all this sorts of stuff. But there's nothing that we know to be absolutely true. So for example, Einstein's E equals mc squared. It's a very accepted it's a law in physics, and it has brought us many major advancements in our society. It is an extremely useful thing. It's one of the most beautiful and brilliant things ever written. However, in season 3 of Twin Peaks, the physics of densities, of higher densities, it does not line up with E equals mc squared. One of the things with E equals mc squared is light. The speed of light is always constant. It's always the same everywhere. But in the world of Twin Peaks with higher densities, that's not true. The speed of light changes throughout densities. Now the reason why I bring this up is because even though E equals mc squared is the accepted theory in physics, nobody can prove that higher densities don't exist. We just can't do it. There's no absolute truths in this world. And what part of this life, what we have to do as we go through life, is we have to decide what we think makes sense, what fits for us, what beliefs do we want to have about the world. Twin Peaks has managed to somehow imitate the incredible complex system of life. Because the only way you can come to a resolution with all of the storylines outside of the 3 Coopers is to make a decision on your own. Was it all a dream? You have to decide that. Does 17 and 18 really need to be played side by side in unison? You have to decide that. There's no absolute answer to any of this. And this is the true brilliance in season 3 of Twin Peaks. I can't imagine the amount of time and attention to detail it took Frost and Lynch to create a world that built unsolvable mysteries that are begging to be solved. Because that's the thing, if we weren't interested in solving the mysteries, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And they left this brilliant trail of breadcrumbs that seems to add up so well, but it just never perfectly goes together. So that's what season 3 of Twin Peaks was all about. It was a very simple story about 3 Coopers who all choose to live life differently. One of them stuck in the future, the other one stuck in the past, and one lives in the now. One embraces the physical world, one embraces the world of mystery, and one embraces both worlds. The one in the middle, who lives in the now and embraces both the physical and the magical world, found his way to a happy ever after ending. And that's the lesson for us to incorporate into our own lives. This was an amazing season, and the community that I was able to share my videos with made it even more amazing. It was, by all means, the highlight of my summer. And because of your comments and questions throughout the season, you made me better at my job. And I owe you a big thank you for that. There is truly only one Twin Peaks, but there are so many great shows and movies out there. We will have plenty to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you know anybody else interested in talking about the finale of Twin Peaks, go ahead and share the video with them. And if you want to be sure to be alerted when I upload new videos, go ahead, subscribe, ding the bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.